Want to learn how to get healthy meals on the table faster than ever? Then this episode is for you. Hey meal preppers, it's Allison, Prep Dish founder. I'm here to help you have a happier, healthier mealtime. Today, I'm very excited to talk to you about something that's new at Prep Dish, super fast meal plans. First though, I'm back. So I don't know if you noticed, but I took a year-long break at this point. So the last video I did, I was 8 months pregnant, I believe. And this is the first video I have shot postpartum. My son is, over 9 months old now. I'm not jumping back into the weekly videos like I was doing before, but today really wanted to take the time to share what we have new at Prep Dish and also use that as an excuse to give all of you just tips for really fast mealtime that's still tasty and healthy. So that's the point of today's video, is to kind of walk through that new meal plan, but again, also providing those tips that you can take. So even if you're not a Prep Dish subscriber, a lot of really practical, tangible tips that you can take away for super fast meals and meal prep. So at Prep Dish, we have two main goals with our meal plans. So the first is really high quality food, and the second is time. So when it comes to the food, there's actually two pieces in there. So one is it has to be healthy and nutritious. My background, I'm a registered dietitian, so I want all of the food to be, real whole food ingredients. But I also want it to taste good. And actually, taste comes before nutrition. I always say if it doesn't taste good, no one's going to eat it. So it doesn't matter how healthy it is if no one's going to eat it. So taste is always first, then nutrition. So that's the first piece, is food quality. But the second piece is time. So at Prep Dish, we are committed to saving time. And personally, I am very into saving time right now. Having two little boys, at such a young age, time is more precious than ever. And so I know that if I want this meal plan to be something that I would use in my house with my family, it needs to be taking time into consideration. So over the past year, that is where we've really focused our efforts at Prep Dish, is how do we make meal prep faster than ever? How do we speed up mealtime, but not impact that first piece of the food quality? So in today's video, I'm gonna go over some of the changes we've implemented in this new meal plan, also kind of giving those tips and tricks for making meal prep and mealtime quicker than ever. So let's dive right in. So how are these meal plans different from the others? So if you're brand new to Prep Dish, we have a gluten-free, paleo, and also a low-carb keto meal plan option. And with those meal plans, they have usually they all have 4 meals and then some sides. So maybe that's salad, snack, dessert, some combination of other items in the meal plan for the week. With these super fast plans, we are only focusing on dinners, and it is 5 dinners, not 4. And that's because we want to make sure there's enough dinners to really get you through the week. Then the other change that we've made to these meal plans is there is not a specific diet. So, gluten-free, paleo, low-carb, keto, those are all kind of specific diets or lifestyles that you're following. And with the super fast plans, I will say, so I personally have to follow gluten-free. I have a gluten intolerance. They're all gluten-free or modifiable. So an example is if we call for pasta, we say pasta, and you can choose, is that going to be whole wheat? Is that going to be gluten-free? Or you could even use zoodles. So they're always easy to modify for paleo as well. And we give all of those tips and tricks in our weekly email. So, instead of using rice, you can use a cauliflower rice. So they're all still modifiable for whichever way you choose, but it's not any specific diet. They do include 1 veggie meal a week, so there's a vegetarian meal. Each week of those 5 meals, one of those will be vegetarian. And I should mention that all of these changes we've made are, yes, they conveniently work out well for me and my family personally, but really they are based on our customers. So Prep Dish has been around for 8+ years now, and we really do. If you have ever been a Prep Dish customer, you know that we reach out on a regular basis. We like to survey and see what are people looking for, and we listen to that feedback. So these are all things that we've heard throughout the years. So if you are out there making meal plans on your own, just know that a lot of what I'm talking about, maybe consider how you've been making your meal plan and if you should modify it a little bit based on this, because I know this is kind of some common themes that we've heard throughout the years that's helpful to people. And then the third piece that I want to focus on for a few minutes is that super fast piece. So this is the most exciting piece. This is the meal prep time. So if you're not familiar with the meal plans, I have one printed here, but I'll also put one on the screen because I know sometimes it's harder to like see the one I'm holding. But here's the grocery list. So you buy all the groceries, but the really key part to a Prep Dish meal plan is the meal prep time. So this is time spent before your meals where you're like getting all of the chopping, all of the heavy lifting done. And with a super fast plan, you can see like it's only like, this one's only half a page. I mean, sometimes it's one page, but there's not a lot of steps, but it's still setting you up for success throughout the week. So you're getting all of those little things done. So that way the mealtime is still really quick and easy. You know, we have instructions on what to do at mealtime as well, but that's a lot. That's still very easy to do. But with that meal prep time, our goal is to have it be 1 hour or less. So this is one of the big takeaways from this video, is that if you want to do meal prep, it doesn't need to take all day. It doesn't need to even take a few hours. If you have an hour or just even like a little under an hour, you can set up your meals for the week. So and actually a really big hack that I have to really even kind of reframe my mind of like meal prep is sometimes what I will do with the super fast plans is on Sunday when I'm making lunch, I'll do all of the chopping. So as I'm making the lunch, I'm doing the chopping. It doesn't even feel like it's anything extra. I'm just kind of doing a little more chopping than what's required for lunch. And then after the meal, as I'm cleaning up and picking up the meal, then I mix up the sauces or whatever steps are left on that meal prep, outline. And in that way, it's like, okay, yes, I've spent, 20 minutes and 30 minutes, on either side of that meal doing some like meal prep tasks, but I don't feel like I actually even sat down and did meal prep. So I almost like trick myself to even not even realizing that I did meal prep at all. So that's the beauty of the these new super fast plans, is because they're so quick, you can almost do them without even feeling like you've put in the work. And then throughout the week, again, it's like so quick and easy. So, and of course, with having a 2.5-year-old, a 9-month-old, time is just like so important to me right now. So the fact that I can do this in an hour and then not worry about it. And more importantly, with Prep Dish and our meal plans, the thing that I like the most is that it is helping you so that mealtime itself is not a stressful, chaotic time. You have instructions. You don't have to think about the meals. You have the instructions there. You have to follow them. But once everything's going, you can give your kids some really intentional time while you're waiting for your meal. And when you sit down to your meal, it's like so I was going to say calm and peaceful. Okay, we have a toddler, so sometimes I can be as calm and peaceful as I want, but he's not going to be. But if I come into the meal calm and peaceful, at least gives us a fighting chance that we're going to have a nice, quiet meal time. And I can at least, give my attention to him, and I can remain calm and peaceful throughout the meal. So that is like, to me, the really key piece is like having that plan ready to go at mealtime. So I wanted to show some sample super fast plans on the screen now, so you can just kind of see how we've done these. And then again, I try and make these videos so like, okay, if you're a Prep Dish subscriber, you see what's going on. But if you are not a Prep Dish customer, you're brand new here, you can look and kind of copy what we're doing here, right? Like we have spent several years fine tuning these. So if you're wanting to create your meal plans at home, hopefully you can see some things here that are going to be helpful in terms of like, oh, I didn't think to do it this way. So we have the grocery list. That's kind of the same with every, plan. The key piece here, the prep day, I just wanted to show you some examples of what that looks like. So if you were spending 1 hour prepping, what does that look like? And here are the things that you're doing. Again, it's usually, I'll show you a few different ones, but it's usually chopping and mixing up some sauces and marinades. Those are kind of the two main things that are happening. Sometimes it's mixing up and doing a little more work. But yeah, it's usually those two main tasks are the things that are happening. And a big thing that we do with these super fast plans is we will, depending on the item, we will have it be a pre-chopped item. So that like eliminates half of your chopping time. Or, maybe it's something like you just buy like pre-sliced mushrooms so they don't have to require any prep time. So just like really being intentional and looking at what's required there. And then I wanted to show some examples of the dish day, which is just, at mealtime, what are you needing to do? And there is, yes, there's some steps here, but I think the beauty of it is you're not really having to think about it. It's just like, okay, you can go into autopilot, follow what the instructions say, and again, put your focus more on your family and being present with them, and let the meal be kind of like the back burner thing that's happening. These super fast plans are available. I'll put a link below if you want to try 2 weeks for free of our super fast plans. I would love to know if you've tried them out. Let me know in the comments. Are you enjoying them? What do you think? And again, the link for that trial will be there as well. I'm not planning to get back into regular weekly videos, but I do a weekly podcast. It's called Meal Prep Monday. I'll make sure that's linked in the show notes as well. So if you want some of my tips and tricks for meal prep, you might want to check out that podcast. I'm also going to link 2 other videos. So one is 3 tips for faster meal prep. So that's specifically on that meal prep time. How can you help that go as fast as possible? I also have one with some meal prep hacks, and it's a back to school edition, which, conveniently enough, we're getting ready for back to school time. So that video is linked as well.